this is the next question.
Okay. Yeah, when I was in the state legislature, I worked with Republicans and Democrats to try to address this issue. Right now, we have an 8-year term limit in our state legislature, and what it's done is increase the power of the unelected, the bureaucrat, the lobbyist, taking power out of the hands of the people, out of the hands of the voters. People are able to vote every election, decide who they want to represent them. I think that's the way the system works best. We only need to look as far as the state legislature now and its dysfunction, its turnover, even before term limits. The average term of a state legislator in the Missouri legislature was only 7 years. So I think it's made the system worse in the state level. And I think the state legislature now proves that out.
Thank you. Mr. Martin.
I think what he just said was that he doesn't support term limits. I think he doesn't support term limits because if you're one of the ruling class, you're one of the people whose family or others can rule, it's a really good deal. It's a really good deal. Here's my position. I'm for term limits, especially for Congress. Because when we founded this country, our founders recognized that the government was supposed to be smaller than the people. And the people were supposed to come in and out of government. Career elected officials who spend their time either as lobbyists or elected officials don't understand what the rest of us are going through. And I think what we need to see in Congress rapidly on November 2nd is a whole new set of people, end the terms of a lot of people, but then we need to hold the new people accountable and pass a constitutional amendment for term limits. Enough of the ruling classes, enough of the families taking care of each other and themselves. Let's bring some new blood to Washington, D.C. I think that's pretty important. Thank you.
Government has gone so far away from the people that we do need term limits. We also don't need dynasties, as my two opponents are coming from. And what I say that is Mr. Martin is endorsed by the Blunt dynasty and Mr. Carnahan has. So at this point, I think we need to re-examine how we can get control of Congress back to listen to us. And I'm really concerned about that, and I'm sure you all are too. Term limits is a drastic measure, but I think it should be done, and I think it should begin in November.
Thank you. The next question is Mr. Martin. What is your position on earmarks?
Well, that's easy too. I assume Congressman Carnahan will take his full minute to explain how he delivers for us. But let me tell you, I oppose earmarks because the process, you see, is used to pay off your friends and family and others. So earmarks are really a dirty business. You go into office and you don't put your name on it and you ask for certain things and then you come home and say how great you are. And you end up having to vote for a Woodstock museum and a bridge to nowhere, and you end up funneling $107 million to your brother for a windmill farm. This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with Congress. So what we need to do is have earmarks. There should be no earmarks. If you want to vote on a project, up or down, is it good for the country, good for your district, have everybody vote and put your names on it. I mean, this is what corruption is, not just when somebody bribes someone else. It's when the system is gamed by the powerful and interested for the benefit of special interests and others. And I think that's why earmarks have been so bad, and so is the other spending. Thank you.
I oppose earmarks because they're wrong, they're not constitutional, they have no place in our government. I also oppose any kind of backdoor deals. I oppose war for profit. I oppose a government that pretends to represent us and then represents the wishes of global corporations and international banks. These are all problems in government. They're all manifested by different areas and we can see them. We understand that we haven't got control of our government. So the money is corrupting government. It's not free speech, it's corrupting government. And at this point we need to go back to the Constitution, limit the money in government, and stop taking from government. Government is not our benefactor. We should say no, thank you.
I've crisscrossed this district talking to leaders, looking at serious needs in this district, and to be sure that we get our fair share of tax dollars back here, working in our communities. One of the top priorities when I first got elected, we had two of the most dangerous roads in America here in Jefferson County. You all have been on them. Some have family or friends that have been killed there. Those are special appropriations that came back here to help fix those roads. We've had special equipment to go to law enforcement to fight the meth epidemic in this community. Those are your dollars coming back home to your communities to work here. That's part of the job of your representative, to fight for you, to be sure you get those dollars in your community to go to work. I think that's the right thing to do. I will continue to fight to be sure those dollars come back here.